Good morning, everyone. This is Johnny Midnight, your host of Midnight Madness. I wanted to go over something that gets asked quite regularly, especially amongst my alliance, and I'm sure people will ask all the time. On a lot of the streams, I've seen people on ILAC streams question on what does it take to get into the top 10% of the 5-star featured arena. The points have steadily gone up year after year after year. I regularly grind these, especially for the 10% in order to get the 2,000 5-star shards as well as the 6-star shards. So it's very common that you're going to be seeing people going for that just for the shards alone, as well as the nice units that they can build up with the BC openings and stuff like that. As you can see, for the past couple weeks, I went from about 1,200 units to about 7,000. That's a good pull for opening up the BCs, the battle chips. But it's not a standard. A lot of the time, you're going to open up a lot of 100,000 and not get much units within those 10 crystals that you open for the uncollected version of the arena crystals. But needless to say, one of the big things that people always want to go for is that top 10%. Because as you can see, when we review the rewards for the milestones, for the rank rewards, sorry, that top spots that for that the featured champ can definitely go for anywhere between 30 million for an uncoveted champ to 50 million for a coveted older champ to even 80 to 100 million for a featured brand new champ that just came out. But a lot of people want to go for this top 10%, because the top 10% get that nice juicy reward. As you can see, as of this event, I kind of slacked. I could have put up about 21 million if I wanted to, with just using my 6-stars, because I have a plethora of 6-stars, currently at 53 6-stars. So that allows me to run it without many win streaks, and I don't really have to worry, and I can get a good score that I can pretty much almost guarantee that I'm going to get into that top 10%. But I wanted to kind of show you guys where you need to be, or where you need to be aiming for, if you want to consistently come up in that top 10%. Now, the more and more people that do that, of course, it's going to move the score up more and more. So this is always going to be a moving target. This is not gospel. This is not going to be what you need to do every single time. This is just what I feel comfortable with in the current today's of where I need to be. But I do have something that I can show you that takes some resources that are currently available online and put them into Excel and kind of show you a projection chart of what's currently going on in the past 6 months and how much the score has raised. And this can help you project in the future, so you're not constantly having to ask people, oh, what should I go for? What should I go for? What should I go for? So let me switch views here. So this is a nice little spreadsheet that I put together. You can see this nice pivot table. Basically, we go here. This is all the featured hero data for the 5-star featured hero arenas and the scores that were needed in order to get to the top 10, and also the featured champs based on information that was provided by common users on like Trucos. So this data is pulled together quite often. In fact, you can find it here. This is the arena cutoff sheet that is constantly updated. As you see, I only have view only. I'm not the one who updates this, but it is a resource. If you look out there, you can look up all the stuff from the featured 4-stars, the basic 4-stars, the 5-star featured. You can see they get it from Reddit posts. They cultivate all the information they can find all over the place. That's why in Trucos, they get it from the Reddit posts as well as anyone who supplies them, so that they can come up with the best estimates of where the top 10% is, as well as the featured score cutoffs. So this is a good resource if you ever have it. But I went in ahead, took the liberty of taking this data, I imported it into Excel, and then I mapped it out for just the past 6 months. So as you can see here, if I look at the past, 6 months, this is each date that the arena ended and the score that took that top 10%. And you can see here that we were in the 3 millions back in July of 2019. Now, this is basically where it used to be. We used to see a lot of 13 million could just really get that top 10%. but it started raising dramatically very quickly near August. You can see that it started getting up to be 14.5. And in fact, when we started going into the September and October, it really got up there pretty quick here. For the 19th, there was no data, but so that came up as a 0, so they can't really average that out. But as you can see, the average went up by about 700,000. That's a huge 700,000 to 800,000. That's a huge spike increase. Now, what could cause that? Why all of a sudden did we go from 13 million to 14.3 or 13.5 to 14.3 on average? Well, you have to think about it. People are grinding these arenas. They're getting 5-star shards. Each one of these dates is 2,000, so 5 of them is going to be a brand new 5-star, let alone all the event quests that you're going to be getting those 5-star shards, the alliance wars that you get 5-star shards. That's all going to be accumulating to give you a bigger depth of roster, which is going to naturally move the score up. But you can't forget one of the keys, which is the 6-star champions. You know, between, you know, a given 6-month period, people should be opening about 2 to 3 if they are free to play. If they're free to play, they could easily, based off of dupes, having a good depth of roster. Those dupes are going to feed into their 6-star shards, giving them 275 for each dupe. They're going to get 200 for each one of these arenas. So every 5, they're getting 1,000. So every 5 of these dates, they're getting 1,000. They're easily can be putting together, you know, a 4,000 within a given month. It is not off the wall to get 2 to 3 6-stars a 6-month period for a free-to-play player. As long as you're constantly hitting that 10% mark and getting those rewards and opening up, and you're clearing your content all the way up to uncollected. Hopefully Epic and Cavalier, when those types of events come out, do your events, not just the monthly events, do the side quests, wherever you can get to 6 stars, and you can actually see yourself get up to probably 3 to 4. If you are a free-to-play player, you can do it. You just need a really good roster in order to be able to compete at this level. I have a bonus towards that because I have 53 6-star champions that allows me to just bust out 3.5 million in an hour, and I could just move along, and then I only have to come in 6 times, put that in, and I never have to hit a revive. I can hit 20 million easily without blinking an eye. I'll be almost on the borderline of getting an uncoveted champ and placing in the 150 spots. But I don't want to do that all the time. I have a life. While I'm currently don't have a job because I'm currently hunting, I have work that I needed to do normally during the day, so I don't have the kind of time to always sit there and grind out these $70-80 million feats of just endurance to really go out there and just put up these astronomical scores for some of these really coveted champs. So I tend to just always stick to the 10%, and I don't want to spend too much time because that frees me up to put other time towards the other arenas that we have out there and get more units, because I'm still going to get 300 arena the battle chips, whether I win it in the 4-star featured or the 5-star. Winning those 3 matches gets you a flat 300 battle chips. Might as well get the rank awards, all the crystal shards, the units that are given in the milestones for all these other events, and not just always focus on getting the highest score possible that I can in the 5-star featured. It's not the perfect grind. You're just going to sit there and be spending most of your time 6, 7, 8 hours a day, just grinding out arena to get some of these like 50 million, 60 million scores if you're a free-to-play player. That's unreasonable. You need time with a family, you need time with your friends, you need time for you. Even though, this game can be for unwinding, you do definitely have to be smart. So always be knowledgeable of what you might need to actually shoot for. So getting back to this, you see this large increase, and then it didn't increase as much. You have an average of about 14.5. So it only really went up on an average between November 1st to present day. But you're going to notice something here. You're seeing 15 million being hit very often. There was a couple times where we had a couple low scores. Like you see here in November, it just seemed to be odd. It could have been that there was a rash of bans here on 1.9, which could have been just there wasn't much interest. A lot of people were tired from the holidays. They didn't put much grind in. Could have been arena bots. Who knows? It could have been because after the gifting event, the bots stopped. Could be a lot of rumors. That's all hearsay. But this is weighing it down slightly, these two scores. But we do see an increase. And if you look at each one of these dates, 15 million is about what you need to get the top 10%. So if you are going to want to aggressively seek the top 10% today, you need to be putting about 15.5 just to be safe. But 15.5 today, based off of what we could see in a 6-month period, is not going to be safe in 2 to 3 months from now. In 2 to 3 months from now, you're going to be wanting putting 16 million up because, again, people are opening up more 6 stars, more 5 stars. They're going to have bigger rosters, which means they're going to get scores easier, which means this is a moving target. But about every like 2 months to 3 months, you want to increase it by about 500,000. And you're going to want to look at who are the champions that you can bring in to keep that on track. As people get more 6 stars, you're going to see it kind of taper off. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that, because people are going to start duping more and more 6 stars. And you're going to see a huge decrease in the amount that it may go up in time as people rosters kind of get up there. You see, like, it kind of tapered off. Like I said, you have those 2 that were kind of low, but we are seeing more commonly 15 million being hit. But it's going to start tapering, and you're going to see that. But you're going to see times where it's going to spike back up because, again, the featured 5 stars and the featured 6 stars get added to the basic pool, which means people who have, like, I have 53 6 stars. There's a good chance for me to dupe every time I open up a 6 star now. But there is a good chance, about a 50-50 chance of me getting a brand new 6 star, which again goes into my capability of opening up, of opening up my score, because each 6 star, like, let me just write this out for you. Each 6 star can get you anywhere between 60,000 to 65,000 points when you're at that 3-time multiplier at that unlimited streak. That's 65,000 points for one fight. Now, if you multiply that by just 6, you're looking 6 times, because you can run usually with the time of the events, you can get 360,000 more points for just having one 6-star champ added to your roster, which is not unreasonable when people are opening up 2 to 3 within a given 6-month period. They're probably going to dupe 1 or 2, and they might get a new one or a new second one, which means they can get anywhere between 360 to 720,000 more points each 6 months to add to their free-to-play grind. That is not unreasonable. A lot of these top 10% players are going to be free to play. They are, and they're going to be grinders. Some of them are going to be pay to win, if you want to call it that, or whales if you want to call it that, because they're going to be trying to get these rosters that they're going to compete at this such high level. You just have to be smart and know exactly where you need to be and how to progress further. We can definitely go over this, in another, 3 to 4 months. I can actually plot it out more for you guys. I'm more than willing to do that. But it's definitely something that you're going to want to keep an eye on. Like I said, right now I would go for 15.5. You should be safe for that, for the top 10%. But starting in about 2 to 3 months, you're going to want to start moving that up gradually, and you're going to want to keep an eye on it. And you're just going to want to push yourself to get to 16 million, and then 16.5 2 to 3 months after that, just to keep ahead of that curve. You don't want to fall behind and then all of a sudden find yourself where your grind isn't doing it for you. So happy grinding. Stay in those arenas. Keep at it, folks. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Give me a like, subscribe. I could definitely use it. I'm a new channel. Have been playing this game for a long time. have a lot of knowledge, a lot of depth in this. I put time, I put money, I've grinded arenas. I can give you advice, tips on how to do this kind of stuff. But feel free, again, to comment down below, and I will definitely engage with you. You have a wonderful day, and stay mad.